All right, welcome. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Got a lot I want to talk about today, guys, as it is Saturday. Happy Saturday. As the Eagles take on the Las Vegas Raiders tomorrow in Las Vegas. A lot of speculation has gone around and a lot of conversation has gone around about tomorrow's game. Can the Eagles turn around their season by beating the Las Vegas Raiders? Let me just get this off my chest because I think that, that statement has been put out there quite a bit. And with that statement, among the conversations that include that such statement, has people saying if they beat the Raiders, it can save the season. No. Look, the Eagles' struggles so far this season is top down. It's top down, and there's so many issues going on with this team right now that one game is not gonna turn around the entire season. It's not gonna turn around the entire season. It's not gonna be the end all be all of getting them on the right track. I'm sorry, but there are things that are going to need to happen in tomorrow's game, for the Philadelphia Eagles to win, for the Philadelphia Eagles to show us that there might be hope. For the Eagles are not going to it's going to be more than one game. For one, the Eagles are going to have to, Jalen Hurts is going to have to put up maybe his best game. Jalen Hurts is going to need to shine. Miles Sanders is going to need to do the most that he can with his opportunities, because let's be fucking honest. We don't know how many opportunities Miles Sanders is going to get tomorrow. We're hoping that after a mini bye week, after some self-evaluation supposedly by the coaching staff and the players, that they might run the ball a little bit more and with the trade of Zach Ertz, because he wasn't the best run blocker in the world, and with the committing to Dallas Goedert, that maybe that means that they might run the ball a bit more. That's the hope. But can we actually be confident that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to run the ball more under Nick Sirianni? No, we can't actually be confident about it because we haven't seen it since week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. And even then, they didn't run the ball that much. So, what we saw in week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons was a bit more diverse. Miles got a good amount of carries. So did Kenneth Gainwell. And then obviously Jalen got his runs in there as well. Here's the issue I want to talk about here. This offense is not making any sense whatsoever. This offense isn't making sense whatsoever. You've got Miles Sanders in the backfield, who is an electric runner. You've got rookie running back Kenneth Gainwell, who has shown himself to be a weapon as a rookie in the running game, in the passing game. And you've got Boston Scott back there as your third string. Now, we all know what Boston Scott can do, and he dresses up every single week. It's not like he's inactive. It's not like they're ruling him inactive every single week. He's the third running back on the team, and they're dressing him. So, but he's not getting any playing time, none whatsoever. And that, and obviously this is something we've talked about before. Obviously, it's a huge fucking mystery. It makes absolutely no sense. And some sources say, Nick Sirianni has said in the past, he's never coached, the type of quarterback, that Jalen Hurts is. Okay, well, what the fuck does that mean? That's not true. Well, that's not true. One, it's not true at all. Why? Because they coached who was it, Tyrod Taylor or Jacob Brissett in Indianapolis? I think it was Jacob Brissett. So that statement's not true at all. It's more than just one game. Even if we do win tomorrow against the Las Vegas Raiders, It's more than just one game. It's not, can we turn it around? Can we turn the season around against the Las Vegas Raiders? No, that's not the headline. That's not the headline that should be being used. Can the Eagles find hope in beating the Raiders tomorrow? Can the Eagles find hope in beating the Raiders tomorrow? That should be the headline. Not can the Eagles turn the season around? I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. Obviously, this is Philadelphia Eagles channel. DB talking now, DB talking Birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I think? I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to beat the Las Vegas Raiders tomorrow. You know, and I'll tell you why. Everybody wants to make a big deal. You know, obviously, we know that young promising running back Josh Jacobs. He's a good running back. He is a really, really good running back. Very powerful running back. We know that he's not having his best season. I think he's averaging about 3.2 yards per carry or something like that. And people want to make a big deal about that and think that this Philadelphia Eagles team can take advantage of that. And you know, I'm not trying to throw any other Philadelphia Eagles fans under the bus, or I'm not trying to throw any other Philadelphia Eagle podcasters under the bus. But look, just because Josh Jacobs is averaging 3.2 or 3.4, 3.5 or whatever it is yards per carry doesn't mean that we're going to be able to take advantage of that. It doesn't mean that we're going to be able to take advantage of that. You want to know why? Because we've been absolutely horrible against the run all season long, and Josh Jacobs is a really, really good running back. Now I'm going to say something, and I'm not saying that this team is like that team whatsoever, but I am going to say that on paper, the personnel that they have is very similar. And I'm going to say that the personnel on paper. Jalen Hurts me. Welcome to the chat, my man. Happy Saturday, my dude. On paper, the Las Vegas Raiders personnel is very similar to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers personnel. You know, they got the strong, strapping quarterback who is playing really well right now. They've got the tough running back who can take over a game at any moment. They've got the weapons on at the skill positions. They got a really talented tight end. What am I missing here? The only difference is this. This is the only thing that the Philadelphia Eagles might be able to take advantage of. But by the way, they haven't been able to get production outside of Javon Hargrave at this position all season long. And I'm talking about the defensive line going up against the interior of the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line, because it is shit. It is shit. That's the only advantage that we might have. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing on top of that. The Las Vegas Raiders lead the league in pass plays over 20 yards with 32. 32 with that so-called horrible interior offensive line. And you've got these DTs playing out of position. You got Fletcher Cox playing out of position. You got Derek Barnett doing absolutely nothing, and you got Josh Sweat getting a sack every now and again. I just don't see it. Jalen Hurts me, my man. Let's get to some of your comments, dude. Jalen Hurts me says, "How you doing, bro? Hair looks good." Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I just got the haircut today, actually. So I appreciate that. I like it. It was time. You should have saw the before and after pic. Because you know how the hairdressers do it. They got to brush your hair out. And before they start cutting it. And mine was down to the middle of my back. Honestly, I didn't even know. So Jalen Hurts me says Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake are going to roast us. Yeah, no, exactly. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, here's the thing. I've been a Philadelphia Eagles fan for a very long time. I know that the Philadelphia Eagles have a tendency to play spoiler. I know that they have a tendency to randomly play spoiler. I literally watched them almost beat the undefeated New England Patriots in 2007, I think it was, with AJ Feely at quarterback. Literally, I watched that game, and they played a hell of a game. But here's the thing: even if they did that tomorrow, even if the Eagles came out and had their best offensive game tomorrow, we would be excited, yeah. But afterward, you would still be like, okay, well, what team is real? What is the real? Philadelphia Eagles? Who's the real Philadelphia Eagles? Please stand up. Please stand up. Who's the real Slim Shady? Please stand up. Please stand up. And I still would feel uneasy about the coaching staff. I would still feel uneasy about Jalen Hurts. And boy, do I feel uneasy about Jalen Hurts. The dude can't throw for shit. And he doesn't throw over the middle. There's a reason why defenses can shut this dude down. He doesn't throw over the middle. He throws to his left or he throws to his right. And when he throws to his left, he is incredibly more inaccurate than he is when he throws to his right. And you can't throw to your right all the time. This isn't college. Jalen Hurts says, can I ask you a very honest question? Is Jalen Hurts the answer for the future? If not, who is it for us? In my opinion, Jalen, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer. I mean, look, a lot of people want to come out and say, he's only going into the 11th start of his career in the NFL, and like, as if that should be an excuse. No, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be an excuse. Does he get a little bit of leeway? Yeah, he gets a little bit of leeway. Did we see Carson Wentz do this shit? No, of course we fucking didn't see Carson Wentz do this shit. No. Like, I would take Michael Vick right now over Jalen Hurts. I would take Michael Vick back in a heartbeat over Jalen Hurts right now. That's how untrustworthy I am in this dude's play, or distrustful in this dude's play. I just can't. Like, I don't know what I'm going to see from him tomorrow, except for the fact that, like, I think that he's going to overthrow some dudes, and I think he's going to underthrow some dudes, and I think he's going to be late with his delivery. I don't think he is going to be able to show enough improvement. And here's my thing too, is I really do think he's down to the last bit of games on that invisible measuring stick that Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie have come to agreement on in their minds. I really do. I think he's almost down. I think he's down to his last bit of games. I really do. And I don't know if tomorrow's the last game. I mean, honestly, I think tomorrow could be the last game. Just depends on how bad he plays. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be tomorrow, but I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Toxic Falcons, welcome to the chat, my dude. Yeah, man, I got a haircut. I got it today. Thanks for noticing. Jalen Hurts says, I missed it if you talked about it. I already, but thoughts on Ertz trade. Look, I love Zach Ertz. Always gonna love Zach Ertz. I love what Zach Ertz brought to the city. He's one of the best tight ends to ever play in the Eagles uniform. That I really do truly believe. He was absolutely huge in the Super Bowl for us. Love Zach Ertz. But I've said this before, and I said this all off season. I think Zach Ertz had a down year last year, and a lot of it had to do with injury. But I was one of his biggest supporters. I think that we should continue to keep him. But but it just came time to part ways with him because we were going in a different direction. And I still think that he has a lot of years left, and I think he's going to do a lot of great things for the Arizona Cardinals. And I think that I don't think there was a better team to trade him to. I also believe this. On the other half of the trade, I like what the Eagles were able to get in return for Zach Ertz. Tay Gowan was one of those guys who we talked about, me and Patrick J, when we were doing the live stream of the draft in the 6th round. We were talking about Tay Gowan right there, right before the Cardinals picked him, because the Eagles were 2 picks behind the Cardinals, and we were thinking that the Eagles were going to be able to get Tay Gowan, and lo and behold, they did not in the draft, but turns out they did. So Tay Gowan was somebody I was excited about. I like his potential, and I hope that he can develop into a decent player for us. We'll see. Jalen Hurtsme says, I wonder if we had it. I wonder if we hand it over to Flacco soon just to ride it out. And that's another great question. That's another big question to ask is, do we hand it over to Flacco or do we hand it over to Gardner Minshew? Is Gardner Minshew ready to take the reins? And I mean, it's been half the season almost already, so I mean, I'm sure he's had enough time to learn the playbook. I think that they would honestly hand it over to Gardner Minshew. Because I think that they gotta know. I think they gotta if they're gonna hand it over to anybody. I think that they gotta. I think they turn the tables away from Jalen Hurts. I think they got to figure out what they got in Gardner Minshew. I really do. Talks Falcon says, I forgot Zach was gone. Yeah. And here's the thing I said in my last stream too is like, look, we all know that Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts spent more time together than Jalen Hurts and Zach Ertz did in the offseason. And, we saw some of that chemistry in the minor moments of that preseason, that one preseason game that Jalen Hurts played in. So, I mean, look, does Dallas Goedert being on the field, help Jalen Hurts play better? There's a possibility of that. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't think so, but it might, it might. We've seen, chemistry, the difference in chemistry can work wonders. And honestly, just watching Jalen Hurts overthrow Zach Ertz on that tight end crosser against the Buccaneers was so horrible. And so aggravating because he was wide the fuck open. That's the other thing too, and this is why I absolutely do not think that Jalen Hurts is the future. This is why I don't think he's the future. I'm not saying that I'm there yet. I'm pretty fucking close to being there, but this is why I would say he's not. Is he continues to overthrow guys. He's slow on his delivery. He throws the ball way too late. You got to throw the ball as you're coming out of your breaks, not when the guy is already way too far down the field. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely blows my mind. It blows my mind. It's funny because on NFL Network, they asked, do the Eagles regret trading Carson Wentz? And they came on and said, no, I don't think so, blah, 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 blah. Everybody needed to. Do you think the Eagles regret trading Carson Wentz? What do you guys think? After seeing what they're seeing right now? Like, if they could get a mentally healthy Carson Wentz back, like, honestly, which they wouldn't have done, but I'm just saying. And then that takes us to Howie. That takes us to fucking Howie Roseman. That's the thing too, is like we don't know where this shit comes from. We don't know where this shit comes from. It doesn't make sense for them not to run the ball. It doesn't make sense. This offense doesn't make sense. Everybody around the league is saying it. You know, professional NFL analysts are saying it. Like nobody can make sense of why the Eagles are running the offense the way that they're fucking running it. Nobody. And is that the head coach? Is it Nick Sirianni entirely? I don't think it's him entirely. Honestly, the RPO puts the run game responsibility on the quarterback. Who is the quarterback? Jalen Hurts. So that's where the responsibility is shared. But then again, we heard towards the middle to the end of last season with Doug Peterson that they were having Doug Peterson come into the office on every Tuesday morning and talk to them about the offensive game plan and telling them what to do. Are they doing that the same? Are they doing the same thing with Nick Sirianni? Is Howie Roseman telling this guy how to run his offense? I mean, Jalen Hurtsby says, I'm already looking into next year's draft. It's sad, but I want to know what your top positions are to focus on next year's draft, dude. Honestly, yeah, for sure. I'll say it right now: quarterback, and quarterback, cornerback, and defensive tackle. Maybe. I'm kind of on a mixed. I'm mixed here. I definitely think that they should bring in a quarterback. I definitely think that, and I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any. There's no harm, no foul in bringing in a quarterback in the first round. There's really not. You want to know why? Because Joe Flacco is not going to be here after the year, and that quarterback that they bring in the first round can compete with Jalen Hurts, and he can compete with Gardner Minshew. That all three of them can fucking have a competition. I don't give a fuck what it looks like, but that's what you can do. And then at the end of the training camp, the best man wins. The best man wins, and that's fine. But as far as the other two positions, like I really like Kyle Hamilton, man. I really like the safety out of Notre Dame. I really fucking want him. like I would love to have him. And so like if it came down between him and like Derek Stingley, that would be tough. That would be really tough for me. But I also kind of want us to address the defensive line. It depends on what we do with Fletcher. It depends on what we do with Fletcher Cox. Depends on what we do with it depends on how these other younger players progress. But I don't know. We'll see. Toxic Falcon says, I will say there will be no QB drafted number 1 this year. Oh yeah, no, not number 1 overall. Yeah, no, probably not. But look, here's the thing is I've seen some of the tape of these quarterbacks. They've shown flashes. And I'm not ready to, call it quits on any single one of them yet. And reason being is a lot of the time it takes them until their senior year, all the way up until the end of their senior year, to really raise their draft stock. Jalen Hurtsby says this year's draft class for quarterbacks sucks. Yeah, as of right now, yeah, it does. Here's the thing. Like I know I'm aware of that. As of right now, it does, in comparison to other years. But these quarterbacks have shown flashes at some point, and I'm seeing it. I'm studying them like fucking nobody's business. Because trust me, I do not like Jalen Hurts. I'm done with fucking Jalen Hurts. The dude cannot throw to his left accurately. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-yard pass. It doesn't matter if it's a 10-yard pass. He can't throw to his fucking left. It's like watching Derek Zoolander try to turn left. He can't fucking turn left, or he can't fucking throw left. And he doesn't fucking read the field correctly. Like, I don't care how many games you are into your fucking professional career. Like, you should be able to read the field correctly. I'm sorry. I said this at the beginning of the season. Like, I'm going to measure him based off of how Carson Wentz did his rookie season. Because that's who we traded away to start this guy. So I'm tired of the excuses. He's only going to his 11th game. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. King Miro says, ooh, I got a feeling that we need to run the damn ball more. Yeah, we got to fucking run the ball. King Miro, welcome to the house, my man. Yeah, they got to run the ball. You got 3 running backs that are dressing up, 3 guys who have shown that they can get the job done, including Boston Scott. They haven't even used Boston Scott all season long, and that drives me absolutely nuts. It really does. They can find a package for Boston Scott. I guarantee it. You think Kansas City could find a package for Boston Scott, even with the playmakers that they have? Yeah, you trade Boston Scott to Kansas City right now, and they'll find a way to get Boston Scott involved, even with Hilaire, even with Tyreek Hill, even with all these guys that they already have. Andy Reid will find a way. And so would the Bucs. And guess what? The Bucs already used 3 running backs. Ronald Jones, Giovanni Bernard, Leonard Fournette. They already used 3. And I bet you they would still find a way to use Boston Scott. I mean, they could do so much with the running game. It doesn't have to be Boston Scott. Bring up Jordan Howard. Come on. Come the fuck on. You know you can make the running game so much more versatile if you bring up Jordan Howard. That drives me insane that they spent all offseason planning a huge package for Jordan Howard. He split time with the ones with Miles Sanders, and then they end up putting the guy on the fucking practice squad. Now that to me was a Howie Roseman move, and it completely threw the coaching staff into a huge flux. That's what I get from that. Jalen Hurts says, of course they miss him now, but he had to move on for his sake too, you know? He wouldn't have been happy here at this time. Yeah, no, of course not. And no, Carson was dead set on wanting to reunite with Frank Reich, and that's plain and simple. And I'm honestly glad for Carson. Because honestly, I think that this city, and I think that the media, especially the Philadelphia media, like really painted him in a bad light when he didn't say anything. And the truth of the matter is he didn't say anything. You know, don't rip a guy for not saying. Like, honestly, I get that we were frustrated. I get it, but like, we don't know what happened behind closed doors. Here's what we do know: Howie Roseman is a fucking punk. That's what we do know. Jalen Hurts says, I am very upset with how Sirianni looks so far. I had such high hopes before the season. Well, here's the thing. Is it Sirianni or is it Jalen? I think it's both of them, but like, how much of the blame is on Sirianni? How much of the blame is on Jalen? You know, because is Jalen reading the field correctly on the RPOs? You know, is Sirianni like, are these game plans being put together based off of the limitations of Jalen Hurts? And if that's the case, and that's, I kind of am leaning towards that just a little bit, because there's just no way in hell that I think that Sirianni envisioned his offense looking like this. I mean, like the amount of time that he spent, you know, putting together different, you know, run game plans in the off season, like, It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. Talks Falcons. I still think it's funny Eagles fans were so hyped after the Falcons game, and look now. Okay. I still think it's funny that you said that you were going to win 45-3. So there's that. Let's keep that in mind. Jalen Hurtsme says, haha, hindsight, but I think you're right. As much as I love Devontae, I wish we picked Mac Jones. That's funny because Patrick J and I were just talking about that the other day. And I actually think that was that yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I remembered that. I just remembered that yesterday that I was like, oh man, I really was pressing hard for Mac Jones in that one week when the Eagles still had the 6th pick. And lo and behold, he looks the best out of the rookie quarterbacks. He looks the best. And how much of that is because of Bill Belichick or how much of that is because of his play? And I guess what? I think it's both, honestly. Jalen, look, here's the thing. Here is the thing. It is a big problem. It is a huge problem. And it is a big contributor when a quarterback is slow on their reads. And that is one of Jalen's biggest problem. And that is one of Jalen's problems right now. He is slow on his reads. If you're slow on your reads, you're going to hold onto the ball too long. You're not going to get it out in time. You're going to not read the field correctly. Like when a quarterback has that problem, it's like, I don't know. It's like an ant, like watching that first piece of that first, spectacle of dirt roll into the anthill. It's like, oh shit, we don't want that. King Miro says, all I'm going to say is give Jalen Hurts time. I want to give Jalen Hurts time. I really do. I want to give Jalen Hurts time. I want Jalen Hurts to succeed. I really do. I like him. I like him as a person. I think he's got some great leadership. I think he's got a great leadership qualities. He needs to match it on the field. And look, you're talking about time. You're talking about time here with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts looks worse than he did last year. And you're asking me to give him time. I'm giving him time. But he looks worse than he did last year. And he's looking worse as the season progresses. He's not looking better. He's looking worse. So, what are they doing in practice? What are they doing in practice is the thing. What are they practicing? This is if you know what's wrong with your quarterback and this is the problem. Nick Sirianni has said it. It's like he's got to be quicker with his reads. And Jalen Hurts has said it himself. He's got to be quicker with his reads. He's got to be able to read the field better. He's got to utilize the middle of the field more. He's got to be more accurate on the left side of the field. Like, did they know this? If they know the issue, what are they practicing? If we continue to see the same thing week in, week out, what are they fucking practicing? And if they're practicing it and he's not getting better, then that means he's already reached his ceiling. And there, within that whole line of dialogue that I just had, we have found our answer. He's reached his ceiling. If they are practicing, trying to get better at the issues that he has as a quarterback right now, but he's not getting better, then that means, he's hit his wall. And that really sucks because I don't want Jalen Hurts to. I would like to see him succeed. I like him as a leader. I like him as a person. I think his personality fits Philadelphia well. I really do. But the most important thing is you got to bring it on game day, dude. You got to win games for this city. This is a big market fucking city. You got to win games for the city of Philadelphia. And Jeffrey Lurie is impatient. Jeffrey Lurie does not like having multiple losing seasons. He doesn't. He can't afford it. He doesn't want to afford it. Why? Because it's a big market city. That's why. And I can tell you this. And it also goes way back to being outbid for the Patriots by Robert Kraft. He still has that little bitter fucking taste in his mouth from being outbid for the Patriots by Robert Kraft. That's part of it too. Like I hate to bring it up, but Jeffrey, that's a big reason why Jeffrey Lurie is impatient. And I'll tell you what, like, as much as I hate to bring this up, that's why they're watching that Deshaun Watson rumor the Deshaun Watson thing like a freaking hawk. I don't think it's going to happen, nor do I want it to happen. I don't think Deshaun Watson should get traded. I don't think we should even be fucking talking about it because of the shit that he's being accused of. But they're definitely watching it. So, Tox Falcon says, "What would you do if Spencer Rattler situation, transfer or go to the draft?" I honestly think that he should transfer at this point. Spencer Rattler's kind of has a bad attitude though. Like I kind of turned myself off of Spencer Rattler. So, but yeah, I think he should transfer. Jalen Hurts says transfer for Rattler. He got benched. His draft stock is sunk. Plus, he's a horrible teammate and spoiled brat. Yep, exactly. King Miro says, I'm pretty sure if Doug was still here, Jalen would be better. You know, that's a great point. And that's a great point, King. And that's something that I've talked about or that I've thought about. And see, it's weird. I can do that with my hair now. I haven't been able to do that in so long. And it's been 3 years, guys. You know, my hair, I was growing out my hair for 3 years. Yeah, that was something that I thought about at some point, you know, a few times during this week is like, would Jalen be playing better under Doug? And yeah, I do. I think that's a good, accurate, point of thought. Reason being is because Doug ran a more traditional offense. You know, it wasn't a lot of this RPO shit. Doug did what Doug knew, and Nick Sirianni doesn't really know the RPO all that well. So that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem why we can say that Nick Sirianni deserves blame, because he doesn't know the RPO that well. Jalen Hurts, however, should be running the RPO no fucking problem. Because that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did in college. It's exactly what he did in college with Devontae Smith. So why that's not working, nobody freaking knows. Nobody, like, honestly, I couldn't tell you. They're running it too much, I can tell you that. But, you know, Jalen shouldn't be having as much problems as he's having with the RPO. You know, honestly, over the last couple of weeks, it's been like the entirety of the season, it's been inconsistent and unsuccessful, with the exception of Atlanta. Jalen Hurts says Doug was mentioned for Raiders job. Another thought that I thought about, yeah, I mean, that would be, I think that's a good, I would like to see that, honestly. I would like to see Doug coach the Las Vegas Raiders. I think that puts him in a perfect position. I think you know, he's getting a good quarterback in Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is good. I don't think that they should move on from Derek Carr. I know that sometimes that conversation pops up every now and again. You know, they've got a great young running back. They've got some defensive pieces. Probably could use a little bit more. Probably could use some interior offensive line additions. But it's a good young team. They have some things on that team that Doug didn't have in Philadelphia. So, with the exception of 2017, obviously. But guess what we did in 2017, guys, that we don't do anymore? We ran the fucking ball. And why? Because Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator. That's why. Jalen Hurts says QB and head coach relationship is super important. One cannot succeed without the other. Look at Kyler. Of course, he's talented AF, but he has the system. Head coach that caters to him, weapons that cater to him. Yeah, Kyler's a freak. Though. And look, it took him a few years. And there's no way in hell I'm going to compare Jalen Hurts to Kyler Murray. I'm past that point, man. You might be able to go back in some of my streams, from the off season and say that I may have done that, and say, I hope that he turns into, a Kyler Murray on the rise, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, Kyler's much more agile. Kyler's much quicker, much more alert in the pocket. Kyler, yeah. But I agree with you. Yeah, the quarterback head coach relationship is very, very important. And honestly, I just don't think. Here's the other thing too. This is what I don't think. I don't think that Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts have a bad relationship. I think they have a good relationship. I just think that neither one of them know how to fix what's going on. That's what I think. I think that neither one of them know how to like. Both of them are very passionate. Both of them are very strong motivators, and they know how to do that with their with passionate talk. But we haven't been able to see them do it on game day on the field at all. So it's about your ability to assessment. Yeah, if Nick Sirianni was smart, he would start utilizing all three of his running backs. That's what he would do. If he was smart, he would start utilizing all three of his fucking running backs. You know what I mean? In fact, yeah, and fucking cut JJ Arcega-Whiteside and bring up Jordan Howard on top of it. For fuck's sake. But at the same time, Cliff would be nothing without Kyler, so maybe if Sirianni had a better quarterback, his system would work better. There's arguments for that too. Here's the thing that we know. Wide receivers are getting open in Nick Sirianni's system. Wide receivers are getting open in Nick Sirianni's system. The first few weeks, Jalen Reagor was getting open. Jalen Hurts wasn't hitting him, or he was overthrowing him, or he was underthrowing him, or it was being thrown too late, so then it turned into a pass interference. And then Quez Watkins is getting open too. Devontae's constantly getting open. So Jalen should be having a better fucking season than he's having. It's just that he's not seeing the field correctly. He's not reading 1, 2, 3. He's reading 1, sometimes 2, and then just fucking going. And yeah, it bugs the hell out of me. And yeah, would Nick Sirianni do better with a more accurate passer that probably knows how to read the field a little bit better? Yeah, probably. He probably would. In fact, all head coaches would do a better job. All head coaches would do a better job. Jalen Hurts right now is playing like Cam Newton played last season. That's how Jalen Hurts is playing right now. Maybe a little bit worse. Talks Falcon says head coach and OC should both be at blame for Eagles' run game. I'm going, like I've said, I'm going to blame everybody here, and here's why, and I'll say it again, because I think that something really fucked up is going on with Howie Roseman. I really do. We, as an Eagles fan, and I know that you're not used to this, Talks Falcons, because you're not an Eagles fan, but Howie Roseman, and this is just speculation based off of what he was doing with Doug Peterson towards the end of last season, is they were telling Doug to pass the ball more, even though he was winning games by running the ball. And they were doing this all the way back. Even they beat the Green Bay by running the ball really, really well earlier in that season. And the following Tuesday, Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie both said to Doug Peterson, "Why didn't you pass the ball more?" Like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, and so that's the fear that's going on right now with Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. Is it true? I don't know. Here's the other thing too. Like, everybody, and I want to jump into this too. Do I think that they're passing the ball too much? Yeah, I do. But guess what Doug Peterson did with Carson Wentz in his rookie year? He had Carson Wentz throw the ball 500 times. And Doug Peterson gave an explanation for why he wanted to do that. Well, you want to give him as many opportunities. So that or give him as many attempts so that he can continue to learn. The more reps, blah 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 blah. The more opportunities you have to get better. And so Carson had over like I think it was close to like 500 attempts, if not over 500 attempts in his rookie season. Are they doing that with Jalen Hurts? God, I fucking hope not, because if that's what they're doing and they plan on having this guy play the entire season, we're in for a long fucking season, because the dude cannot throw for shit right now. I'm tired of watching it. Like, I'm tired of watching what he's done up to this point. I really am. When it comes to the passing game. That doesn't mean that I'm saying he can't get better. Doesn't mean that. It just means that I'm tired of seeing what he's done in the passing game up to this point. He needs to get better. If he's going to be this city's quarterback, he has to throw better. He has to play better. Connor King, welcome to the chat, my man. NFL is a prove-it league now. Teams don't wait years anymore. Players have to come in and perform. I think we can already tell Hurts is not the answer. Yeah. Thank you. Perfect. And that's why his job is in jeopardy now. Here's the thing. I was asked this in my stream the other night. Are you willing to give Jalen Hurts more time? And my answer to this was I'll give Jalen Hurts a few more games, but if he continues to play the way that he's playing, I think I'm done with it. Here's the other thing too. I don't think that Jalen Hurts has time, to continue to get better. I was asked, can Jalen Hurts' problems be improved upon? And yeah, I do. I really do think that his problems can be improved upon. I really do. If he works hard, if he knows how to work at them. Tom Brady was great at that. We know that. I brought this up the other night. Tom Brady was projected to be a 6th-round pick for a reason. He was a 6th-round pick for a reason. But Tom Brady worked his ass off. And Tom Brady became Tom Brady. And I'm not saying Jalen is going to be Tom Brady. Nowhere near. Yeah, that's not ever going to happen. But what I am saying is that everybody has the ability to work on their skill set. You can work on your stance in the pocket. You can work on your throwing motion. You can work on reading the field better. You can do these things. You can do those things. But I don't think he has time. And the reason why I don't think he has time is because I'll go back to it. I'll say it again. I think he's getting to the end of the line when it comes to the timetable of his prove it deal in Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie's mind. That's what I think. Because guess what? We're also approaching that trade deadline. So there's that too. Sox Falcon says, my question is, if they bench Jalen Hurts, are they going to switch to the passing game because Joe and Minshew aren't running quarterbacks? Are they going to switch the passing game? They're already passing it too much, and Minshew can extend some plays. I don't. Here's the thing: they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be passing it as much as they are now. They shouldn't be passing it as much as they are now. They have Miles Sanders. They have Kenny Gainwell. I don't care if Joe Flacco and Minshew aren't running quarterbacks. Run the ball. They don't need to run the fucking ball with the quarterback. They don't need this offense that Nick Sirianni is running right now. This is the other thing. This is a big misconception that everybody's not grabbing a hold of. The offense that they're running right now is strictly for Jalen Hurts. It is strictly for Jalen Hurts. The RPOs that they're fucking doing, it's not Nick Sirianni's grand design. It's not his vision. This RPO shit, the amount of RPO shit that we're doing, it is strictly because of Jalen Hurts. I got honestly, if you guys cannot, if people cannot grab a hold of that, this offense would not be the same with Joe Flacco running this offense. And I doubt it would be the same with Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew can extend plays, but they're not going to run the RPO as much as they do with Jalen Hurts right now. That would be insane. And I don't see them doing that. In fact, I would think that we would probably switch to a more traditional run game with Joe Flacco and Gardner Minshew at the quarterback position. And honestly, guys, I'm right there on the borderline where I kind of would rather see either Joe Flacco or Gardner Minshew. Honestly, I don't know if I don't think we're going to beat the Raiders. I don't think we're going to beat the Raiders tomorrow. I'm gonna say that flat out. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to say it. I don't think we're going to beat the Raiders tomorrow. I think we're going to lose by 10. So I'm going to say that right now. It might be 31-21. It might be 34-24. I don't know. Hell, it might be 17-7. But I think we're going to lose by 10. But again, yeah, I think they would run Miles more, and they need to start. And they need to start running Miles more because that's going to be a problem. He's going into the last year of his contract next year, and he needs to get the ball. I don't want to get rid of Booby. I don't want to get rid of Booby Miles. I want to resign Booby Miles. I want to resign Miles. You know what I mean? Hell, I was so excited when we drafted Miles Sanders. I want them to re-sign him. I want to see them give him 4 years for $35 million. I think that's what he's worth right now. 5 for $35. I don't care. Or 5 for $45. Give him 9. I don't 9 per year. Do it. I think he's worth that right now, honestly. But they gotta use him. Docs Falcon says that maybe you need to bench Hurts so Jalen can get more involved. So Jalen Reagor can get more involved? Yeah, maybe. Here's the thing. I think Jalen Reagor had I think he started off the season better than he looked last season. He was getting open. We saw him have that screen that he took for a touchdown against the Falcons. We saw him make some decent plays. You know what I mean? We saw that touchdown that got called back against the 49ers. It's unfortunate that he stepped out of bounds, but that was a good play. I maybe. Maybe. I think Gardner Minshew is more accurate than Jalen Hurts. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Joe Flacco had a phenomenal final preseason game. So let's keep that in mind. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. We can't. Let's not take accolades away from the quarterback on this team who has accolades. Let's remember about the accolades that the quarterback has, and that accoladed quarterback would be Joe Flacco. King Miro says we need to trade one of our picks for DK Metcalf. You're not going to let that one go, are you, buddy? Nah, I want us to trade for safety Marcus Mays from the Jets. Jalen Hurts Me says, sorry to bring this up, but any thoughts on Ben Simmons? Philly sports scene is so messy all of a sudden. Yeah, Ben Simmons. I'm done with Ben Simmons. Like I like he has no leverage. He has no leverage in the situation. He doesn't play like a superstar. His free throw game was horrible. He's coming off the worst playoff performance. He's coming off his worst playoff performance. Like the dude is a point guard who can't shoot threes. And like I don't know what more you want me to say. I don't want Ben Simmons on this team, and I think that they're making a mistake by like waiting it out with him. But I love what Doc Rivers had to say. I love what Joel Embiid had to say, and I love what Jason Kelce had to say. What I don't understand is why Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Noah Brown came out and said something about Jason Kelce, like Jason Kelce's comment about Ben Simmons. Like, who are you, Noah Brown? Who are you to say something about Jason Kelce saying something about Ben Simmons? Like, stop. Connor King says, I would like to see a little bit more of Gainwell and Boston Scott along with Sanders. Once we establish the run game, they won't be one-dimensional, and maybe Hurts will throw better. Yeah, maybe. The hope is that he'll throw better. The hope is that he'll throw better if we get the running backs more involved. And that's the hope. That's the hope. And that's something that I hope for too. And maybe that's what will happen. Maybe that's what will happen. Maybe that's what we'll see tomorrow. Maybe that's what we'll see tomorrow. I really do. I really hope that they come out and run the ball, because they sure as hell have talked about knowing that they need to run the ball more. But they just got to do it. They got to do it. So Tox Falcon says, wow. Wow, what? Oh. I would assume most Eagles fans were surprised they beat the Panthers. No, actually, the thing is I don't think that that's the case. I think a lot of Eagles fans were actually pretty optimistic about that game because McCaffrey wasn't playing. And we kind of knew that Sam Darnold was going to be was going to put in a lesser performance than what he had put in up to that point with because McCaffrey wasn't going to be in. So I didn't expect the defense to play that well, but they did. But even in that game, like, we still had to come back. We still had to come back and win. So because the offense just, the thing is, like, it doesn't make sense why this offense can't do anything. Like, why is it taking 2 years in a row to get this offense to make sense? Like, the offense last year was different, and it didn't make sense. That it was different. It was different than it is this year. But even then, like, the things that we were doing didn't make sense. Does anybody remember, like, the shit that we had to go through last season? And we were blaming it on Doug. You know what I mean? Like the Fulgham emergence, and then benching, and then all of this other stuff that went on. Like, How do we know that was Doug Peterson? How do we know? How do we know? What if it was Howie Roseman? You know what I mean? Like, it's starting to look like Howie Roseman because it's starting to look like that ever since Frank Reich left, this offense hasn't made sense. And Frank Reich was the only one with experience, really, outside of Jim Schwartz, on the offensive side of the coaching staff. And Frank Reich, this has been reported, Frank Reich was the only one who could really, have some sway in the room with Howie Roseman because of his experience. And then after that 2017 season when he left, and now you have a coaching staff with no experience. And it doesn't make sense. And the offense doesn't make sense. So, are you guys surprised by the result? Jalen Hurts me says, rank these underperforming quarterbacks: Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones, Tua, Jalen. Okay. I will. I'm going to say Sam Darnold number 1. I will say Daniel Jones number 2. And then I will say Jalen 3 and Tua 4. Why? Because I think that Jalen is better than Tua, and Jalen gets more touchdowns than Tua does. That's why. Dox Falcon says, nah, Tua hasn't done nothing. Exactly. Dox Falcon says Eagles should sign Juju next year. God, no. No. The Eagles offered a multi-year deal in the offseason to Juju, and he declined it to go back to the Steelers. He also declined a multi-year deal by the Ravens as well. So Juju, I don't know. Juju is Juju. Juju's going to do what Juju does. And I don't want his character on this team, honestly. King Miro says, nah, sign OBJ instead. I don't want OBJ. Jalen Hurts me says, or sign AJ Green. AJ Green might not be bad. AJ Green might not be bad. Tox Falcon says, I would honestly trade Ridley to the Eagles for a first rounder. You would honestly trade Ridley to the Eagles for a first rounder? Would I want to do that? Nah, I would give you a second rounder at Jalen Reagor, but nah, I wouldn't give up one of our first rounders. King Miro says, nah, man, we need Metcalf. Yeah. Metcalf. Talks Vodka says, Metcalf ain't leaving the Seahawks. No, he's not. Jalen Hurts me says, we can trade second round pick bag of peanuts and Liberty Bell for Patrick Mahomes. There you go. Or why don't we trade all 3 first round draft picks for Andy Reid back? How about that? Why don't we do that? Can we do that? Let's do that. You can trade for coaches. Remember the Dallas Cowboys were rumored to try and be trading for Sean Payton for so many years? Oh, well. Here's the thing I want to say about tomorrow's game, though. Because we don't know how many touches Miles Sanders is going to have, Miles Sanders needs to make the most of his touches. And he'll have an opportunity to do that. So he does need to make the most of his opportunities. He needs to do a better job of doing that. I don't think we live in a world where the NFL is the same anymore in terms of, you gotta get the running game going. You can mix in the run. You can mix in the run and find balance that way. And so I think that Miles definitely needs to make the most of his opportunities tomorrow. And I certainly hope that it's more than one carry in the first half. It better be more than one carry in the first half, because if it's not, I swear, like I am this close. I'm this close. I'm close to being fed up with the offensive coaching staff as well. It's not just Jalen Hurts; it's the offensive coaching staff. But you know what? I don't think Sirianni's in the hot seat, and I can tell you why. It's because I think that Howie Roseman likes him. So, I think Howie Roseman likes him, and I think Howie Roseman likes that Nick Sirianni will listen to him. So, there's that. Dallas Goedert needs to make the most of his opportunities tomorrow. I'm really excited about that, honestly. Like, I really want to see what Dallas Goedert is going to do now that he's going to be the full-time starter. So that's good news that he was activated off the COVID list. Lane Johnson obviously is going to play, as Nick Sirianni said yesterday. So that's awesome. Really glad to have him back. Both him and Jordan Mailata are going to be back. So 3 out of our 5 starters who were among the offensive line in week 1, the starting offensive line in week 1, are going to be playing tomorrow. Obviously, Jordan Mailata, Jason Kelce, and Lane Johnson. So the other optimistic thing, I guess I want to talk about too is Landon Dickerson, our second round pick. Landon Dickerson has actually played well. I think we were all kind of thinking that, and that he was gonna end up eventually playing well. Once he got healthy, but he's healthy and playing well, guys. And he's only going to get better. The ceiling is really, really high for him. And so, our offensive line should continue to get better. And Jack Driscoll is obviously a good depth option as well. Isaac Samalu will come back next season, things like that. LaRaven Clark is activated as well. So, things are going to be okay. Things are going to be okay for the offensive line. Jalen Hurts says only 4 wideouts worth first: Adams, Hopkins, Diggs, and Tyreek Hill. Yeah. That's true. That is true. That is very true. King Miro says Eagles are going 11-5. No, they're not. I would be surprised if the Eagles won 3 more games. Honestly, I really would be surprised. But it depends on what they do. It depends on what adjustments they make. They just had a mini bye week, and it depends on what adjustments they make. I think they really. Our bye week doesn't come until week 14. And that's crazy. It's absolutely insane. I think they probably really could have used it right now, because we had a tough stretch at the beginning of the season. It's going to start to get a little bit easier now, but yeah, King Miro, I know you're joking. King says, "Nah, I'm joking. 2-15." Yeah. Oh boy. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, wouldn't that be something? See, here's the thing too, is like I go back to the talking point that I brought up earlier in the stream, and like there's a lot of Philly podcasters and there's a lot of like Philadelphia fans saying, can the Eagles turn around the season with a win over the Raiders tomorrow? And it's like, the Eagles aren't turning around the season even if they beat the Raiders tomorrow. Like it's more than one game. And the reason for that is because there's so many problems with the Philadelphia Eagles right now. There's so many problems. Penalties, discipline. Your quarterback can't deliver the ball on time. Your quarterback can't deliver the ball accurately. You don't run the ball well. Your scheme is off, and like your defense continues to get carved up on the ground. So teams, all they have to do is just run the ball on you and they can control the clock. It's exactly what the Buccaneers did. Buccaneers could have put up 40 points, but they didn't because Tom Brady is a smart quarterback. He's only going to do what he needs to do to win. He's not going to do more than he has to, you know? And I think that the Raiders are going to try and do that tomorrow. And they might succeed if they do that tomorrow because Josh Jacobs is going to have some success tomorrow. Like, I don't care if he's averaging 3.2 or 3.3 or 3.4 yards per carry so far on the season. You know, like, he's going to have some success tomorrow. So, you know, it's going to be a tough game, but I'm hopeful that they can show some improvement. I'm always hopeful. That's the whole point of being an Eagles fan. The whole point of being in the midst of a transition year is stay hopeful. You know, continue to stay hopeful. Stay hopeful that you'll see some sort of development. And you know what? I am. Despite the fact that Jalen Hurts continues to suck and he's actually getting worse as the season goes on. You know, I like what I'm seeing from Kenny Gainwell. I really am. I like what I'm seeing from Kenny Gainwell. You know, I like what I'm seeing from this offensive line, Landon Dickerson. I like what I'm seeing from him. Love what I'm seeing from Jordan Mailata. I think everybody can agree on that. You know, I would like to see more from Devontae Smith, but I don't think it's Devontae Smith's fault. I love what I'm seeing from Quez Watkins. So, you know, there are reasons. I love what I'm seeing from the cornerbacks as well. I love what I'm seeing from the cornerbacks with the addition of Steven Nelson. So, you know, we'll see. So there's reasons to be optimistic, even in a losing season, but it's fucking aggravating, and I'm tired of it. and to end this stream, it makes it really tough to have faith in Jalen Hurts as far as him being the franchise quarterback of the future. Because right now, I just don't think he's it. That's it. So, but other than that, you know, other news to end the stream is it seems like safety Anthony Harris is going to be a game time decision with his hands. He was listed on the injury report with his hands, so we'll see. That's going to be a game time decision. But this is DB Talking now. DB Talking Birds. DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Guys, we'll be back on with you in the morning. Undecided whether or not I'm actually going to live stream during the game or I'm going to do a pregame and then do a postgame. Most likely do a pregame and then a postgame just because I love, you know, taking notes during the game, and so I got to stay focused while I do that. But hey, all of you who joined me today, Jalen Hurts, me, King Miro, Connor King, Toxic Falcons, all of you guys, thank you so much for joining. You guys have a beautiful rest of your Saturday, and stay safe, stay healthy, one love, and go Birds, baby.